I experienced a situation where my executive presence was much higher, at a definitely higher level than my boss's. And my boss at that particular time struggled with it. You could tell over the years there was a bit of a struggle that was there from time to time. And ultimately, what ended up happening was my boss was trying to undermine me amongst some other people that I was working with. And a lot of times when you have your executive presence, you may think that people have your best interest in mind, but in actuality, if they really don't like you and they don't like the fact that you have an executive presence, they will find some way to cause you problems. And so undermining is something that you want to really keep in mind as you are developing your executive presence, because it will happen. It happened to me personally. But when your presence is at that higher level, especially even higher than your bosses, when you have those situations come up, people undermining you, people being mean to you, people causing this type of problems for you, you get to the point where it doesn't really impact you as much because you're on another level. And oftentimes people get into that place where when these situations happen, we start to lose our presence and we start to get really frustrated with it. We start to become very lax. We start to lose that consistency that I've told you all many, many times that you have to have when you're developing your executive presence. And we start to go back to our old ways. And so I encourage you, when you experience this, when your boss may not like it when you have your executive presence because they may not have a consistent executive presence themselves, you want to make sure that you reflect back on yourself and that leader that you want to present yourself as, because ultimately you will still be at that higher level and they will be at the level that they are at. And even if you have a disagreement and you notice that there's some undermining that's happening, or some very pointed or sarcastic humor, or some other issues that are being directed at you in a very aggressive and not friendly way, then know that you're the better person at the end of the day, and you have something very special within inside of you that somebody else wished that they could have. Now, I know that may be a bit more than what you all would want to know as it relates to your executive presence. I still think you should build it. You should establish it. It will protect you in so many different ways. But I do want to share with you that there's a side of it, as I mentioned, that people are not talking about here on YouTube. There are times when people will see your executive presence and they will simply not like you. They will undermine you. They will talk bad about you. They will make other people think bad about you because you have something that they do not have.